Tessence Academy, Class 7th, Social Science. History, Lesson 7, Urban Development in Middle Period. Hello students. Today we are going to start History, Lesson 7, Urban Development in Medieval Period. Let's first see the meaning of urban development. The medieval era in the Indian history begins from the decline of Vedic era in the end of 6th century until 12th century. During the period, a large number of kingdoms flourished in the region. Great cities were developed and prospered. Religion, military, and politics formed the basis of city planning. The Mauryan and Gupta dynasty in the north, Cholas and Pandyas in south, Agon of dynasty. Now let's see the growth pattern in urban society. The green space are reduced considerably because of new construction over them. The trees have fallen due to aging and no new plantation has been done. Built open spaces. Due to high economic pressures, the city's open spaces are reduced considerably. Permeability to the city has reduced. Either the street is closed or the street width has reduced, which has led to lack of open space, unhygienic condition, improper drainage, increase of pressure on primary roads. Let's start the first topic of chapter, which is types of urban cities. There are different types of towns. First, court towns, trading towns, pilgrimage town, port town. First, we see the meaning of court town. Court or capital town refers to the place where the king held his court. This place was often developed into a town. This was because royal attendants, nobles, soldiers, officials, scholars, entertainers settled in these towns to serve the ruler. There were different towns. In the medieval times, there were temple towns, administrative towns, commercial towns famous for arts and craft, and port towns. Moreover, some big towns and cities were famous for more than one of those things. Next topic is pilgrimage center. A pilgrimage is a journey to a sacred place. Peoples make pilgrimages to places like Jerusalem, Bethlehem, and Dharamshala as a part of their religious or spiritual practice. A pilgrimage is often a spiritual journey, but some pilgrimages deal with other kinds of devotion. Some pilgrimage centers exist till today. They are Kurukshetra, Sachi, Sarnath, Bodh Gaya, Haridwar, Mathura, Allahabad, Banaras, Bhubaneswar, Dwarkapuri, Sringeri, Delhi, Fatehpur Sikri, Ajmer, Nankana Sahib, Amritsar, Patna. Four towns famous as Char Dham are Badrinath, Dwarkadesh, Rameshwaram, Jagannath Puri. Next topic is port cities. Ports, hinterlands and regions. The concept of the early modern port has its roots in the medieval urban tradition. The title of port was generally given to towns whose main activity was trade, being located either on the shores of a major river or on the sea. A city, town or other places where ships load or unload are called the port cities. Next is trading towns. There were the towns which were famous for their trade, since during those days trading happened either by land or by sea. These were mostly by the seaside. Hence, they were called as port and trading towns. Surat, Nagpattinam, Broj are among some of the prominent ports of the period. Next topic is traders. Goods traded between the Arab world and Europe included slaves, spices, perfumes, gold, jewels, leather goods, animal skins, and luxury textiles, especially silk. They developed important inland trading centers like Milan, which then passed on goods to the coastal sites for further export or more northern cities. Next topic is craftsman. Artisan, a skilled manual worker who makes items that may be functional or strictly decorative. Master craftsman, an artisan who has achieved such a standard that he may establish his own workshop and take on apprentices. In the early Middle Ages, craftsmen served their most lives to the local village population and were far less specialized than later. Smiths who worked iron tended to handle smelting and refining, and then made all of the basic iron implements like edges for plowshares or heads for spears. Next is famous travelers. Foreign travelers gave extensive description about trade in medieval India. The most popular traveler of all time was Marco Polo. Marco Polo traveled through Persia, Afghanistan, Mongolia, and China. The path they took is now known as the Silk Route. Ibn Battuta was a medieval Muslim traveler who wrote one of the world's most famous travel logs, the Rihla. This great work describes the people, places, and culture he encountered in his journeys along some 75,000 miles across and beyond the Islamic world. Then Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama was the first person to link Europe and Asia through sea routes. In 1498, Vasco da Gama reached Calicut in Kerala. This was the most significant event in the imperial society and history. The Portuguese explorer had crossed the Atlantic and Indian Ocean to reach the east. Now let's see the case study of Hampi, Masulipatanam and Surat. First is Hampi. The Vijayanagar Empire arose from the ruins of the Kampili kingdom. It grew into one of the famed Hindu empires of South India that ruled for over 200 years. The Vijayanagar Empire built its capital around Hampi, calling it Vijayanagar. Hampi is famous for its ruins belonging to the erstwhile medieval Hindu kingdom of Vijayanagar, and it is declared a World Heritage Site. The temples of Hampi, its monolithic sculpture and monuments, attract the travel because of their excellent workmanship. Case study of Masulipatanam. The town of Masulipatanam or Machilipatnam is located on the delta of the Krishna River. The literal meaning of Masulipatanam is fish port town. It was a center of intense activity in the 17th century, since it soon became the most important port of Andhra Pradesh. Both the Dutch and the English East India companies attempted to control it. The fort of Masulipatanam was built by the Dutch. The present position of Masulipatanam, it is a small fishing town and has a carpet weaving industry. Last topic is Surat. Case study of Surat. Surat was the emporium of western trade during the Mughal period. Cambay too was like Surat in terms of market hub. Later, Ahmedabad too joined the two cities as an emporium of western trade. Surat was called the gateway for trade with West Asia via the Gulf of Ormuz. It was also called the Gate of Mecca because many pilgrims' ships set sail from here. The city of cosmopolitan, that is, people from all castes and creeds lived there. The Portuguese, Dutch, and the English had their warehouses here in the 17th century. So students, here we have completed this chapter. From this chapter, we came to know that during the medieval period, many new towns developed due to commercial activities. During this period, many foreign travelers visited India and described about the trade in medieval period. Many towns were enriched with temples and deities which later developed as pilgrimage center. I hope you all have understood this chapter. Thank you.